Hello, everyone. I wanted to take a little time today to talk about something I think is really a lot of fun and very, very helpful for anyone to have a better life. Many of you probably have in some time throughout your life taken some type of a personality test. And I want to tell you, for the past year and a half or so, I've been working with some amazing mentors, and I had always taken personality tests, and one personality test in particular, which I'm going to send you to that website so you can check out your own personality. Um, the amazing thing is when you work on yourself and you learn things about yourself and you start to change things about yourself because you want to be a better person, you want to have a better life, your personality can actually change. Go figure. I thought it was fascinating because for years I have taken the same personality test and always gotten the same result. So when I was working with let's see, it was probably 8 months into working with a mentor when I went to my first live event with those mentors, and I had to take the personality test again for that live event. It was one of the things that we had to do to prepare for it. And for the first time, I got a different result. So, many of you have probably at least heard of or taken or been told by someone about one of the simpler personality tests. And there's colors: blue, green, yellow, red. So simply for those, red is your type A personality, the very driven person. Well, I always came out as a type A personality. Blue, they're more fun-loving. They're motivated by travel and having fun with their friends. Those kind of things make them happier than what makes the type A person happy. Yellow people are just really caring, giving people, and that's what makes them happy, is to help others. Green, that would be my husband. Very analytical. They have to analyze everything, and before making any decision, they really truly have to check out all the facts before they will ever commit to anything. So those are simple ones, and they used to be A, B, C, D. It's more complicated than that, and the one I like breaks it down into 16 personalities, but there's really 4 basic personality groups. But to find out who you really are, you need to figure out why you are the person that you are, because as we all go through life, from childhood through school, we truly are affected by every single person of influence or even our peers, and we become who we are by who we hang around. At first it's our parents and aunts and uncles, maybe our church leaders and our teachers, who tend to mold us into who we are. But then as we get a little further into school and we start choosing our friends, as you all know, in school, there's cliques. There's different types of students who gravitate to each other. The people that love sports, they all tend to gravitate and hang around together. The book learners, the ones that love to read, very intellectual, they all tend to gravitate to each other, and those that like to have fun tend to gravitate to each other too. And you tend to pick up little personality traits from your friends because you want to be liked by those people that you are hanging around all the time. So over the years, we hang around with different groups of people, whether we're in elementary school, high school, college, and those people influence who we end up being and what we supposedly want to do in our life or want to achieve, the type of person we just are. That is not necessarily who you truly are, because different struggles in our life can cause us to change in some way. One of my mentors at one of our live events told a story about how someone can actually end up being the type A personality. Basically, all of our personality traits probably come from some fear. So you've got a little boy who's very, very happy. Something bad happens in his life. Whether it be his parents have problems with their relationship, someone very, very close to him gets ill and dies, and he just doesn't know how to handle that. Or it could be that he is bullied in school. Maybe he's not great at sports, so he gets bullied by those that are good in sports because he doesn't care about sports. It could be anything. So he becomes, instead of this happy little boy, he becomes a very sad little boy. And you can't continue through life being sad, so a lot of times that sadness can turn into anger and aggression because they don't know how to handle it. And as we become adults, you can't stay like that. So that anger and aggression can turn into a driven personality, someone who has to be successful, that needs to prove that they can be truly successful. So they end up being a type A personality because of something bad that happened previously in their life. And that can happen for all of us. Something has affected us in some way, somewhere, or there's multiple things throughout our lives, struggles that we all go through that change who we truly are. So there's layers that we need to figure out why they're there, how they got there, and in some way try and resolve those. And it's not necessarily if somebody hurt you in some way that you need to go back and deal with that person and fix it, because you can't necessarily do that. But you can figure out where it came from, where the fear came from. And some of your personality traits may be true personality traits, because some of it does come from our DNA, that type of thing. But our life events have molded us more than anything else. So you want to peel back the layers by figuring out, once you find your personality, going through that personality, what your strengths are, why you've got them, what your weaknesses are, why do you have those, what fear is related to each of them. So kind of look at it as asking this question for each strength, each weaknesses. To what end? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? Why are you believing the things that you're believing? So use that question to kind of help you navigate through and figure it out. I can tell you that I have gone through two changes. I'm on my third personality. So it's kind of interesting that, and I'll explain the four different categories of personalities. First, there's the analysts, and they're intuitive and thinking people. There's diplomats, and they're intuitive and feeling, and there's what's called sentinels, which are observant and judging. And there's great strengths and weaknesses for all of these. So don't look at the name of it and judge that. Then there's explorers, who are observant and prospecting. So I went from being, as a type A personality, type A personalities are in the analyst. So when I did the 16 personality test, I came out my first time as a commander, which was, I didn't like the title of it. Any way, shape, or form, I did not like the title of it. But I have gone from being in the analyst, and I have to put my glasses on to do this, but I'm going to read what it says about the analysts. Personality types embrace rationality, excel in intellectual debates and scientific or technological fields. Well, I'm not really that great at technological fields, but they are fiercely independent, absolutely, open-minded, strong-willed, and imaginative, approaching many things from an ulterior perspective, and being far more interested in what works than what satisfies everyone. These traits make analysts excellent strategic thinkers, but also cause difficulties when it comes to social or romantic pursuits. See, I told you there's positives and negatives to everything. I have moved into the category of diplomats. So diplomats are intuitive and feeling. And the last two personalities I've come up with, because there's like 4 different personalities that fall into diplomats. But diplomats focus on empathy and cooperation, shining in diplomacy and counseling. People belonging to these type groups are cooperative and imaginative, often playing the role of harmonizers in their workplace or social circles. These traits make diplomats warm, empathetic, and influential individuals, but also cause issues when there is a need to rely exclusively on cold rationality or make difficult decisions. So, as I said, positives and negatives to everything. So I have moved from, I'll tell you what my personalities were. I started out as a commander, which has the letters ENTJ A. A at the end of, there's A and a T you can end up with at the end of your personality type. A are assertive and T are turbulent. So I at the end of each of mine, I get an A. So I end up in the assertive realm. The next one was a protagonist, and that's an ENFJ-A. And then now I am the campaigner, which is an ENFP-A. So when you go through the 16 personalities, what it's going to do for you is show you where you rank in these different realms. They test for mind, and again, I got to put the glasses on. I got to read this to you, and it's too small. Mind, this trait determines how you interact with your environment. So in mine, I have my percentages for going from protagonist to campaigner. I don't have my percentages when I was a commander, so I can't show you the difference. But going from protagonist to commander for me in the mind end, as a protagonist, I was 78% extroverted and 22% introverted. So mind it's your extroverted, introverted part. When I moved to campaigner, I am 84% extroverted and 22% introverted, which I found fascinating. Then the next area that they kind of judge by the questions that they ask you is energy. It shows where you direct your mental energy. So are you intuitive? Are you observant? So as a protagonist, I was 57% intuitive and 43% observant. And I moved as a campaigner to 70% intuitive and 30% observant. The next is nature, and it's thinking and feeling. How you make decisions and cope with emotions. So, do you make your decisions more on the thinking end? Do you make your decisions more on the feeling side? Obviously, someone like my husband who's green, thinking would be more prominent in his. For mine, I ended up with, as a protagonist, 66% feeling and 34% thinking. And as a campaigner, I am now 76% feeling and 24% thinking. So I'm hoping that kind of means that I make decisions from the heart more than anything else, which I find awesome. Then there's the other thing is tactics. These traits reflect our approach to work, planning, and decision making. So I went from being in this, it's judging and prospecting. So your perspective on things. I went from 68% judging, which I don't like that word, to 48% judging. So I'm almost balanced on this one. So I moved to 52% prospecting. So I'm kind of balanced on the tactics. So I guess I make my decisions a little more balanced even. I'm not one way or the other. What it says on here is because I do lean a little more towards, I did lean a little more towards judging. So when I printed this one out, I was 68% judging. I'm now 48%. It says judging individuals are decisive, thorough, and highly organized. They value clarity, perceptibility, and closure, preferring structure and planning to spontaneity. I don't have what it says if your percentage leans the other way. Individuality is the other thing that they are working on, and that's where you get the assertive and turbulent. It says this trait underpins all others, showing how confident we are in our abilities and decisions. So I went from 90% assertive to 92% assertive. I used to be 10% turbulent, and I'm now 8%. So I'm getting less turbulent, which is kind of cool. So assertive individuals are self-assured, even-tempered, resistant to stress. They refuse to worry too much. I don't worry about anything. Do not push themselves too hard when it comes to achieving goals. Well, that's actually not true. See, my type A personality hasn't let go on that one, because when I have a goal, I push for it. So I'm not really sure how that all balances out. But yeah, goals, forget it. If I have something I have to accomplish, give me a challenge, give me a goal, and I'm going there. Which is, I was thinking the other day, when my children were young, I stayed home and I did not work. except I did a few things part-time, but for the most part, I did not work. I did anything I could to stay home with my children, and thank the Lord, my husband had an awesome job, which allowed me that privilege. I had to do a few things for myself to just have something to do, but a lot of times I volunteered somewhere, some way, and I was always given the tasks of planning things because I would always get everything done in time. I would get it done. No one had to worry about whether it ever got done. I still have people who call me up when they have a project, an event, who want me to help them get that done because they know if they give it to me to do, it's going to get done. So that part, I'm not sure. If you give me a goal, I'm going for it. I'll find a way, doesn't matter, somehow, some way. But it is fun to do these personality tests. It helps you if you want to improve yourself. Anybody that's doing personal development is going to see changes in their personality. The best character trait that you can have is to be teachable. And that doesn't mean that you teach. It means that you're willing to learn, that you're going to be open to people critiquing you and telling you where you can improve. And that's basically what I've been doing for the past year and a half or more, asking people to help me get better. Now that my children are grown and adults and on their own, I have now goals and dreams and what I want in life. I want a fun retirement when I get there. Well, I actually retired from my job, my job job. My husband retired from his corporate job that he worked at for 30 years, beginning of last year. And now he works part-time in the same field, but working with a friend who is very driven, a huge visionary. This man is amazing. And my husband, who is very analytical, he's having more fun now than he's had his entire career, working with his friend who has visions, who has an amazing business, who has an incredible mind and is always inventing better ways of doing things that are being done right now. They're engineers. So it's amazing to watch my husband actually grow. And I would like to, when he first took his personality test and told us what he got, my daughter and I both looked at him and said, "That's not you." So how he perceived himself, it was actually worse than who he is. He had a bad perspective on who he was. So my daughter said, "Mom, you go take his personality test." And so I did. And when I got done, she's like, that's Dad. And he just shook his head. And he did see it. So it actually can be fun for you to do it for someone close to you and see what differences you get in each other's personalities so that you can see how you each see each other, because that may have a huge bearing on how you communicate with each other. Communication is huge, and within personality types, if you find people of your personality, you probably will get along famously. But there are some personalities that will clash big time with your personality. You may have run into a few of those along the way. Going to this website, I'm going to show it to you if I can get this up in the right place. It is, I can't even see through myself. I hope this is showing in the camera. 16, the number 16, personalities.com. So if you go there, There's so much information on that website, but you can take the test for yourself and see what you get. And then you can look at that personality type. You can go and look at the strengths, the weaknesses, and you can start looking at them and asking the question, to what end? Why do I behave this way? Why do I believe this way? Or why do I do this? To figure out, did it come from a fear that you had somewhere, something that happened in your past? Or is it a true, honest strength or weakness that you have? So do that with each of your strengths, each of your weaknesses, and see. The first time I did that, just the first strength I looked at, trust me, it might be painful. I did this with my husband. We were having breakfast in a restaurant, and I took my personality. I said, all right, let's go through this. Wasn't the brightest idea I've ever had, because in thinking about why I had that strength, I thought about my father, because I had that strength because, I had that strength because of my father. And my father's been gone for over 20 years now. He was an amazing man. He taught me some amazing things. Truly was. One of my first mentors. So a lot of the strengths that I think are good in me come from him. And that determination to make a goal is definitely from him. And that's one, it doesn't matter how many times my personality changes, that may be one from my original personality, and it may be different now, but I'm not letting go of that one. Give me a challenge, I'm going for it. So there may be a true trait that you have that isn't based on a fear, but some of them are, and you want to delve down and you want to find your true person, because you were created for greatness and to share some amazing things with this world. And I truly want you to find out who you really are, because that will, if you are in business and trying to succeed, it will help propel you. It'll help you learn how to communicate with other people, because you'll see the different personalities and what drives them versus what drives you. And it'll help you in your communication with them. And if you need help in figuring out how to move that forward, my mentor, Bill Ebert, is amazing at helping people work through all of this. And he has created this awesome dream planner, which I should put a link for it on my Facebook page, on actually all my social media. Look for it, because he's created this dream planner, and if I could find it right now, which I might be able to, yes. Hold on, I'm going to get it for you. Let me see if I can get this in here so you can see it. A Dream Planner by Bill Ebert. Amazing, amazing tool. And there'll be a link for it. And it's a free download. You can go to the link, download it, print it out, and start working with it. It's great for you. Whether you're in business, whether you want to do it for yourself personally, it's amazing for children. Help them dream about what they want in their life. Learn how to be their authentic selves. So you can print one out for each member of your family. But Bill is amazing. If you do download the Dream Planner, you'll get an email from him if you click through the link that I put on my sites. And you'll get an email from Bill Ebert. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of 25 things right now. You'll get an email from Bill Ebert with a link to download it, plus a link to a free webinar helping you learn how to use it. So that's a tool you can use that can help you work through your personality as well, because by dreaming and thinking of what you want to do, it may propel you to be your real, true, authentic self. It will help you increase your personality traits. So it'll help you be a better you. I'm having a lot of fun with it. This is a brand new tool that he just came out with. He's been working on it for years, so it's something we're all really excited with. So I've just started working with it. It's a lot of fun. Kids are going to love it because there's places you can actually draw pictures of your goals in there, what you want to achieve, what you want to see happen this month, next month, the end of the year, or whatever. So it's a lot of fun. So again, go to 16personalities.com and take your personality test. If you misspell it, trust me, it will come up anyway. It's a very, very well used site. So you will find it. It won't be hard, but it's the number 16 and the word personalities.com. And another thing I want to mention is that there is also, in helping you work through to find out who you truly are, working through the fears and the layers of things that you have built up through the years. There's an awesome book that you can also probably find on Amazon. It's called Love is a Choice, and it's written by 3 doctors who help you work through like codependency type things, relationships that didn't work really well, that left their mark. But all the challenges and difficulties we've been through in life have made us stronger and better people. So they have had their benefits. So, but utilize those to make you a stronger you, a better you, but whittle through the layers that have been put on you, not necessarily by you, but by life, by other people, and find out who you want to be, who you truly are, so you can find your gifts and your passions, and you can have an incredible, happy, fulfilled life like I am doing now. And I just want you to join me on this fun journey. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me on any social media where you can find me, and I will be very happy to help you out, guide you in the right direction to find the people that can help you. If I can't help you, I can probably find somebody that can. Have an awesome, amazing day.